Hello, I'm Mayor Barbara McMorrow, and on behalf of Deputy Mayor Lester Preston and Committeemen Anthony Amiano, Tom Cook, and David Salkin, I welcome you to From the Mayor's Desk. We have a great show for you today. With me is Alice McCobb, the chairperson of the Freehold Memorial Day Parade. So even if you do not live in Freehold, I know that our show goes out to other municipalities as well throughout Monmouth County. You may want to pay close attention to this show because it really is a treat for you. So Alice, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And full disclosure, Alice was one of my students when I was teaching at Freehold High School. We just did the math prior to the show. We're not going to share that with you on how many years it has been. But thank you so much. I know you're busy, and I thank you so much for taking the time and coming here. How long has the Freehold Memorial Day Parade been in existence?
To the best of our knowledge, this is our 145th parade.
And that has been continuous?
Yes.
I think we were canceled once.
We were canceled once for lightning.
Right. So
everybody says it's rain. No,
Yeah.
I canceled it for lightning.
Because Alice says that it doesn't rain on her Memorial Day Parade. And except for that one time when there was lightning, it has not rained on the parade. And it may rain very early, and then by the time the parade starts.
By 10 o'clock, it usually stops.
So let's talk about that. I want to come, I see the show, and I think I'm going to come up to the parade. When should I get there? What time does it start?
The roads close in Freehold around the parade route at 8 a.m.
And what is that parade route?
It starts on Brinkerhoff and Main Street, goes down Main Street to Route 79, Broadway, to Murray Street, to Skank, to Oak, to the Monmouth County Courthouse. So all of those roads close at 8 o'clock, and they do not open for anything.
It's being secured at that time.
It's being secured at that time for the safety of the marchers and the spectators to keep the roads closed. There's parking in the Park Avenue School. There is now a crossing guard there so that if you've got children that need to come across to march in the parade, you can do so at the Park Avenue School because the cars cannot come up the road. Mm-hmm. There's just too many people on the road. And as it gets later, obviously there's more people to drive vehicles. And I make sure that any vehicle that's in the parade is in line before 8 a.m. when the roads are closed.
So you're ready to go about 8 o'clock, but we don't officially.
The roads are closed for 8 o'clock for security, and the parade starts technically or officially at 10 a.m. on the corner of Brinkerhoff and Main. My best part of the parade at 9:45, it goes down with a flag draped caisson, horse-drawn, followed with a bagpiper, possibly a drummer, and active military in dress uniform.
It really is a moment.
Yes.
It is. It reminds you what Memorial Day really should be. It's not just a trip to the mall or a barbecue or a picnic. When you see the caisson coming down, when you see all of that coming together, it really makes you pause and actually remember those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, for our ability to have a Memorial Day parade, to be free and to be able to enjoy the day. And that is, you're right, that's the most poignant moment of the day. So just that one time, now we're going to have good weather again, I know, this year.
It doesn't rain on my parade.
That's right.
It's going to go on my gravestone.
And you know what? Everyone would know that because everyone knows who you are. They do. In fact, all people have to say is the chair of the Memorial Day Parade, and they go, oh, Alice McCobb. They know exactly. So you're going to have to do this forever.
Yes.
Forever. And that's your official title. But when did you become in charge of the parade?
To the best of my math, this is my 31st parade as chairman.
Yeah. Does it become more involved as
Yes.
you're doing it?
Because we try to make it bigger and better and put more things in it because otherwise it gets boring if you have the same thing year after year.
Right.
So we try to find new groups to put in, new bands to put in, so that as a spectator, it gets enjoyable to watch.
Do you ever count how many spectators there are? Because I know the streets are packed. Thousands.
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 Thousands. Somebody asked me years ago when the governor was coming how many people, and I think I quoted at that time, and that was back, I think, in '99, that there was like over 10,000 people
Yeah, I would think so.
that watched the parade. More towards the center of town, around the reviewing stand, which is the Hall of Records. But up and down Main Street, there's 3 and 4 deep at points.
And people bring folding chairs.
Bring folding chairs. They've put the folding chairs out in the rain because it rains in the morning. I've stood in the rain, in pouring rain, and at 10 o'clock, the sky clears up.
That's right. And people put their chairs out to hold their place.
Of course.
Yes, so they put it out, and people who have offices along Main Street or homes along Main Street have prime viewing.
Yes.
And it's lined up. And even when we make that turn and we come up into the side street and go around towards the courthouse, there's still people all through there. Most of them are sitting on their porches and applauding as we go by. And it's really such a wonderful feeling of Americana when you do it.
Yes.
It really is. It's just a magnificent way to begin the day. So how many participants do you have?
We average somewhere between 65 to 75.
Different groups. that
Different
come in.
groups. And I always look for new groups, but I don't always know where to find them.
So maybe somebody is
watching. We have a Facebook page, we have a website, and we have, well, email won't matter. But if you go to the Freehold Memorial Day Parade.com, any information that you could possibly want, the application is up. It's free to enter. We don't charge to be in the parade. So you're more than welcome to fill out the application and send it back. Deadline for applications is May 1st.
That's great. I hope some groups decide that they want to come in and join us.
I hope so.
Yeah. You have, I know that we have the governing bodies of the borough and the township,
Yes.
and that has been going on since forever.
Yes.
And then I know we also have the various fire departments,
Yes. Usually there's 8.
and we have school bands.
I have
Freehold
2
Borough?
high school bands. I have Freehold Borough and Freehold Township. I can't get the other 4 from the regional district because Coles Neck has a parade at the same time, Farmingdale has a parade at 1 o'clock, and Englishtown has a parade at 2 o'clock.
And they would be able to get back
Back
and
in
forth,
time.
right? How long does our parade take from beginning to end?
From beginning to end, about 2 hours.
So plan on that when you come. Plan on staying for at least the 2 hours. Get there early so you get a parking space and you get a good place to watch. And then you want to plan to be there about 2 hours. So wear comfortable clothes and then just stay and enjoy. It's really just magnificent 2 hours. And we have floats. I remember
Yes.
that every year. Floats.
Floats, bands. We pay for 4 bands, 5 bands we have coming this year that we've paid for, in different type of music. We have organizations that are bringing floats. It is the 100th anniversary of the American Legion this year. So their host post is the American Legion. So they're going all out, being it's their 100th anniversary. I believe they're doing a big float. It's also the 100th anniversary of Freehold Borough being organized.
Right, it was on April 15th, 1919, Freehold Borough became incorporated and the township and the borough separated.
Correct. So I know they're putting in some big floats. There's usually a float from the Little League. Some of the other
4-H, I think sometimes.
4-H usually has a float.
It's adorable sometimes with the
The
kids. Yeah, there are some floats with the children on it that are just adorable. They're just having such a good time. The scouts, sometimes we have the
Sometimes,
scouts,
but
sometimes.
they don't always bring a float. They just bring a lot of children.
Yes, they walk And they walk that whole route, even the little ones walk the whole route. And it's just wonderful to see them, it really is. And sometimes if you come year after year, you know, they're Cub Scouts and then you see them in Boy Scouts, you know. So you begin to see the years passing in front of you. But it really is, and you know, it really is wonderful because you don't put like all the bands together, you don't put all the floats together, you don't put all the fire trucks together. So how do you decide how you're doing that? Because I know you line it up. I know that we all have to be in our places. She's very strict about that.
Yes. It is a, rhythm's not the right word, science.
A science?
A science to do this. We take tables, and every unit that's coming has a little card, and we line up the parade. The first 25 I can't move because that's the dignitaries and the veterans.
Oh,
and
yes.
military, if we have any. So everybody says, I want to be in the front of the parade. Well, if you're number 26, that is the front of the parade.
Right, right.
Because I can't move the first half, first quarter. So we line up the parade on long tables, and to make sure that the music is not back to back, because they'll drown each other out.
Oh, that's right. I didn't.
And the same thing with the fire departments, because as a spectator, unless you're a fireman, the spectators, after a few minutes, you've had enough fire trucks. Mm-hmm. So we need to break them up with other units so that you get some life and some excitement back. Mm-hmm. So we line up the parade by every application that comes in, and if you tell me you're coming and I don't have an application, I can't put you in because I don't have the piece of paper to line you up. And then we have little cards that says your music or horses or a float or a band, to make sure when we're lining them up, the horses aren't too close to the bands and the bands aren't too close.
I never thought of that either.
Because the horses could get spooked.
Right. Wow, there is a lot that goes into this. And yet when you see it, it looks like it's all just together. You would never think that she's spending all these hours figuring out every detail of it. If you were, though, at the very beginning where we all line up, you'll see Alice making sure that everyone, and your daughter also,
yes,
Amanda also, and your husband, Patrick, is sometimes there as well, and making sure, so it's a family affair, making sure that we're all in our places when we're supposed to be, and that we're all moving when we're supposed to be, because we feed in.
Correct.
So we're coming in from side streets at that beginning. It really is a sight to behold. From side streets coming in. I bet you could do the Macy's Day Parade if you really wanted to. I bet.
Possibly, but that's such on a bigger,
too big a scale.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for 30-something years, and I know it well, mm-hmm. but I don't know, because we joke about if we get much bigger, we're running out of streets. So
that's right, because they're feeding in
from different streets, and I only have so much street I can feed in off of.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I could do Macy's, but
I bet you could. I'll put your name in.
Okay.
We'll see. And then I'll let you know if she actually does that one year. So we also have each year the Grand Marshal.
Yes.
So how do we select the Grand Marshal?
That's usually by the host post. That's part of their, I don't want to say requirement, but they pick the Grand Marshal, which is usually a veteran from their organization.
So when we say post, are we saying American
Legion, the Marine Corps League, mm-hmm. the Jewish War Veterans, mm-hmm. the Disabled American Veterans, the VFW. I think that's the 5.
So they decide among themselves?
Well, this year, as I said, is the American Legion's host. So it's up to the American Legion to find their Grand Marshal. Mm-hmm. And next year, I'm bad and don't know in which order they go. It would be that hope, like last year was the Marine Corps League, it was their job to find mm-hmm. the Grand Marshal.
But that's fair. So each year another post gets to decide.
Correct.
So it's a representative.
And they're the lead, they're the first thing after military, mm-hmm. if we have any. It would be they're the first organization off the street. Mm-hmm. So this year would be the American Legion, and then whoever's next year is second. So it's a rotating of their 5.
Do you find that as the veterans age, and I know that we have sadly lost some of them, you know?
Yes.
That new veterans are coming in?
No.
To take, see, I was worried about that,
No.
because
I can see in years to come that we won't have representation from the veterans sitting on the committee, because I've lost 2 this year from the committee, and they're not replacing them. They're just giving somebody else on the committee that belongs to that organization plus another one, well, you can sit for both of them.
Oh.
So that's not representing that organization well.
So we're hopeful that maybe more of the veterans will become involved.
I hope so.
If they want to become involved, you would just ask either the American Legion group or
Well, this year
VFW.
we're putting in a car again for World War II veterans.
Oh, how nice.
We started it last year, and I thought one of my
Yeah.
committee members, who was World War II, asked if he could ride in a car for World War II. And I said, yeah, why not? I think that's a great idea. Unfortunately, he has passed away.
Yeah.
But we put out, somebody emailed us and asked that their father is a World War II veteran. Could he be in the parade? Sure, I'd love to have him. And then we put out through Facebook, looking for any World War II veterans that would like to participate in the Freehold Memorial Day Parade, to email us or Facebook us, and we have absolutely no trouble in putting you in the car as a World War II veteran.
That's wonderful, Alice. Do they have to live in Freehold?
No.
No. So anyone watching the show who has a family member or a friend who's a World War II veteran, please get in touch and join the parade. We would love to have you, so that we can salute you for your service to our country. And at the end of the show, we'll put up the contact information so that you'll have it. So don't worry about trying to figure it out now. Just enjoy the rest of our show. And at the end of it, we'll have that information. That would be wonderful if we could have some more World War II veterans who
Absolutely.
could be participating. You know, it's the greatest generation, but there are fewer and fewer every year. We really need to salute and honor those who are still with us.
Yes.
So that would be terrific if we could do that. We say that it's the Memorial Day Parade, and of course that's in memory of those who have served.
Yes.
So there must have also been maybe some times that are memorable. So, maybe something funny that happened, or something unexpected that happened, or something that was out of the ordinary.
One of my honored moments, if that's the right word, was when the governor came to Freehold.
Now, which governor?
Governor Whitman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that.
Governor Whitman came and marched in the parade.
That's
She
right.
marched with the scouts because she wanted to be part of the parade and not with the dignitaries. And I had some flack from some people, and I said, if the governor can take time out of her busy schedule to come and march in the Freehold Memorial Day Parade, it's our honor to have her.
Right. The politics do not matter.
I try desperately to keep it as a non-political parade.
And you do. And you have succeeded very well. You have.
Because
It's not
that's
what
not,
it's about.
it's not what it's about. It's there to honor the men and women that we have lost.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand you're running for an office, and I have no disrespect for politicians, but this is not a platform for you to campaign on.
She's not talking about me. She's
No.
talking in
In
general.
general.
In general. Right.
In general,
Okay.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a spot for you to say, "Hey, I'm running for office." Well,
Right.
maybe, but I try not to have anything that says a campaign.
Well, we keep it very you do. You keep it non-political. And I walked in, and I know when my husband walked in when he was councilman, and then I walked in when I was councilwoman, and then as freeholder, I rode in a car,
Mm-hmm.
and then again now in Freehold Township. And one year, I even announced the parade way
Yes.
back when. I was one of the MCs for the parade. I think you change that every year. It's a great honor. by
Yes,
the
it
way.
is.
Great honor.
I pick a new MC every year. I try to find somebody that's going to have a good speaking voice. It is usually my choice. It used to be the veterans, but they screwed up one year and I said no more. So I pick it. I usually do not pick a sitting politician.
Right.
Just to announce it, because again, trying to keep it as a non-political parade. I do think you were one of the exceptions, that you were a politician at the time.
I think I was then. I think I was a freeholder then. But because I was from Freehold.
This year's MC is Kevin Coyne, who is Freehold Borough's historian, and being the centennial, I thought that was appropriate.
Oh, that's perfect.
For him. Now, he has done it before for us, because I keep a list of, so I don't ask the same person twice.
But that
And we
will be
alternate,
perfect.
we alternate between a male and a female. So this
No,
year.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, we decided it was a male-female thing. So this year is a male, so next year we'll have a female.
And I also know that when you do it, it's a fast-moving parade.
It doesn't
So
stop.
You give a script,
Yes,
and then someone's there watching down the road to make sure the group that's coming, that you have on your list, is actually the group that's showing up. And it just moves. There's no time for delay in that parade. You really are moving down Main Street. So it's, when you're announcing it, it's really a lot of work to keep up with everything. So you're announcing the group, and as they're marching, you're finishing the announcing, and the other group's coming, and you want to make sure that you introduce them when they get in front of the reviewing stand. So it really takes a little bit of practice there for the first couple of ones, and then you sort of get used to it. But it really does move. Nobody dawdles in that parade.
I don't like to have the parade stop, because I'm looking at the spectators and I'm looking at the marchers still in line that are all wondering why the parade is stopped.
Right.
And they don't realize that there's a group that is not supposed to be, but is performing in the front of the reviewing stand. All they know is they're at a standstill.
And they're not supposed to.
And they're not supposed to, because it's hard for all of the other people to understand why it stopped. And when you've got fire trucks that have to basically idle,
And it backs up the whole.
it backs up the whole parade.
Yeah. And I'm just, now that you're mentioning it, because everyone's trying to pull out of those side streets, so everything is just backed up all the way back.
Yep, all the way
And
down.
also, no one is allowed to throw candy out, if I remember correctly.
I try to avoid throwing anything out for the safety of the spectators, because when you're riding in a vehicle and you're throwing out candy, you do not see, especially if you're in a truck, that the kids are scurrying
Yes.
on the street to go pick up that piece of candy. And all I can see is somebody in a truck, or even some of the cars, because they're sitting low, don't see these kids that are scurrying down the street, because they see that piece of candy and is one of these days going to get hit.
Yeah, you're right. So it's really,
It's a safety issue, and we're
It's
trying to keep
prevention.
it. I mean, unfortunately, people don't listen because they think the spectators are there for
treats.
the treats. To me, that's Halloween.
Yeah, yes.
The Halloween parade, go back to what the meaning of the Memorial Day parade is. It's to honor the veterans and the service people that did not make it home.
Yeah.
And they didn't make it home getting candy thrown at them.
Yeah, and the safety issue is really very important.
And
you're right, especially because it's that fast-moving parade. So if a child was there trying to get a piece of candy that was closer into the middle of the road, it could really be a terrible catastrophe, and we want to
Yes.
avoid that. So, yeah, so hopefully everyone listens to you this year.
Hopefully, and as I said, people think, well, it's only candy. Well, yeah, but you're not looking at it from our standpoint of what we're seeing down the street as people are throwing it.
Right.
We've asked in the past, and they don't throw it in front of us, but as soon as they get far enough away from us, then they start.
Well,
And we
hopefully.
we don't see it, so we can't stop it.
Right, because you're working the end of the parade to make
Yes.
sure that it continues.
Correct.
Now, also, before the show, we were talking about, I know that you've always had pictures taken of the parade, of the participants,
Correct.
but you're adding something this year. which has to do with technology, which is of course not my area of expertise.
It's not mine either. My niece started it 2 years ago. We are streamlining the parade on Facebook. When the parade starts, it streamlines the entire parade on Facebook for Memorial Day morning.
So that means it's a live time? It's going
Live time. So and if you know there's a group in the parade, you can, watch it to see if you're not in the area and know that there's groups in the Freehold area that you want to see. It's on Facebook, Memorial Day morning. It will be live.
And then, and I don't know if you'll know the answer because neither one of us are really terrific with technology.
No.
But will it be, so does it stay there forever on Facebook and people can see it, or we don't know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
It's a good question.
I just wonder, because I, of course, won't get to see it because I'm in the parade. And I'm
I
wondering
don't feel bad,
if later
Mayor
I can go
McMorrow,
back.
because I don't see the parade either.
That's
And
right.
everything walks past me.
That's right. You have never seen the
I
parade.
have never seen the entire parade, despite everything walks past me, because I'm on the corner.
That's right. But you're just working and seeing each group. You're not seeing the whole thing.
Well, I'm not even seeing each group,
You're seeing the number?
because I'm looking at the group that went by, then I'm looking to see what's coming down the street, what problems there could be coming or not coming. So, and then if the newspaper happens to be there to interview me, then that's taking time out. I have family members in the parade, and I'm lucky if I've seen them
Right.
go by the street. And it's like I've had, all of a sudden, Freehold Township Fire Company it's like, oh, I guess I missed my nephew again.
Does he know that, or do you say to him, "Oh no, I saw you"?
No, he knows it.
He knows you don't get to see him.
Because if you're a friend of mine or a family member of mine, you're working the Memorial Day Parade.
I know. And your father, he should rest in peace, Bill Hakem, Mr. Hakem, was involved in every parade from when I first became involved with the Memorial Day Parade back in the early 1970s. I remember your father being part of that parade. Yes. How many years? Do you know how many years offhand, or no?
No.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
But yes, it's
Yeah.
conversation in my house about 360 days a year.
Right.
About 360 days. We will recap this year's parade. I have a barbecue at my house afterwards because I'm a fool for 20 or 30 people. And
Of course, if we give out your address, there could be hundreds and hundreds of people
well,
there.
I did do my daughter's college graduation party after Memorial Day Parade
The same day, right after the parade?
Yeah.
Right after the parade.
for 60 people. And we will rehash, because most of the people at the barbecue are working the parade, we will rehash the parade, any problems that we saw that we could correct. We will have a recap meeting the first Wednesday in June. We usually take July and August off. We meet again in September, and we go straight through till May.
I know, it's just nonstop. That's why the parade is really so good.
We
Because
meet
you
once a
work
month
full year.
until February. We meet twice. March is 3 times. April's 3 times. And then all 4 weeks in May.
Getting ready for, it's almost here.
Yes.
It's, as we are taping this show, you were at the home stretch for the parade.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to do the show now, so that it could be on. And people who may not come to see the parade would come this year, or people who've seen it every year are getting now a glimpse of what goes on behind the scenes, not only the planning in the months ahead, but the morning of the parade. So there's also a cost to the parade.
Yes.
How is it funded?
The parade costs the committee about $8,000 a year. And that does not include police or streets and road.
So when we're saying committee, we mean the Memorial Day Committee, not the Freehold Township Committee.
Freehold Memorial Day Parade Committee, if we could write checks, it cost us about $8,000. We fund it through donations. I send out over 500 donation letters to businesses, organizations, restaurants in the Freehold Township, Freehold Borough area. We run a fundraiser at a different restaurant every month.
That's yummy.
We try to move it around so you don't get bored with the same food. This month, I don't know when this is going to air, we do have a dinner on it's always the third Tuesday of the month.
So if I wanted to know when it is,
Go on the website of the freeholdmemorialdayparade.com or like us on Facebook. It's posted there. It's the third Tuesday of the month. This month is at the Cabin, and the restaurants give us back anywhere between 10 to 20% of your pre-taxed pre-liquor bill. So you're not donating to the parade, the restaurant is. All we're asking you to do is go out and have dinner.
that sounds pretty fair to me.
So,
And the
then-
restaurants are really good.
Yes, we've done the Cabin, we do Jersey Freeze. Downtown dinner is always a May dinner, and it's the Court Jester and Federici's, and that's 3 days. And they're all day. Cabin's always a 5 to 9 or 5 to 10. We just did Gus's Diner.
Is that a new one?
That's a new one for us. We did last month. We've done JB's in Farmingdale.
Yeah. I think
Farmingdale,
that's where
Howell
it is
there.
now. Yeah. Yeah.
I've lost track of where we've been.
But you've been to so many, and it's
It's
very
very-
diverse. They're all different restaurants, and you can go on the website or Facebook.
And Facebook.
And you can find out exactly where they are and when they will be. And it's really a terrific way to help the Memorial Day Parade, which in turn helps to recognize our veterans and their families by participating. So it's a delicious way to participate in the parade. And if you just want to donate, you can just donate
Donate.
if you want to.
Yes.
So you write a check.
Write a
to-
check to the Freehold Memorial Day Parade and mail it to Freehold Borough Hall, 51 West Main Street.
in Freehold NJ 07728.
728.
So there's just such a good feeling when you begin Memorial Day at the Freehold Memorial Day Parade. Whatever you're going to do afterwards, whether it's a barbecue at Alice's house or anything else you have planned with your family and friends, you really should come to the parade first, because that's what this day is all about. And I said earlier in the program that it's such a piece of Americana. You don't always have that anymore. And this really is a tradition that I hope goes on forever, because it's something that families can enjoy.
Yes.
It's something that has nothing to do with technology. You can just come and you're not on your phone and you're not on any of your devices. All you are is sitting there in a very historic setting and enjoying a very historic parade. So I want
Before
to,
you finish this,
Yeah.
I do need to mention that at 8:30 Memorial Day morning,
Yes.
there is a memorial at the point, which is
Elks Point.
Elks Point, with the crosses. They read off the names of all of the crosses with the flags, the flag ceremony, which is a very, I understand, touching.
It is.
Unfortunately, I don't know what it looks like because
You're at the other end.
I'm at the other end and I've never seen that.
But you're right. At 8:30
30.
in the morning,
That is,
it's a salute to our veterans. And those veterans who have passed away from Freehold area are represented there. And in fact, one I know is a former student of mine from Howell High School. He was the first soldier from New Jersey to die in Iraq.
that must be Mr. Curtin.
That's right, Michael Curtin. And boy, I'll never forget that. He had just graduated a year or two before. And so to me, when we have that ceremony, that's not just a name on a cross. It is a wonderful young man with blue eyes and a beautiful smile who walked the halls of Howell High School. So it's always just a very touching moment. And I think we have one Jewish star there.
Yes.
I think if I remember correctly. And
Yes.
there's a World War II monument there
Yes.
now.
World War II and
And other on the other.
Korea, I
think so,
believe.
I think so. So really, it's just a magnificent place to begin the day. So if you're an early riser, and even if you're not, if you get up early, it will be worth it. The speeches are very brief. It's not about
They have to be.
It's not about the politicians talking. As Alice has said, it's not a political event. The two mayors speak, and then we have some other people say a few words and some prayers, and we recognize and respect those who from our particular area, our communities, have paid the ultimate price. So, I thank you so much.
Thank you for having
I'm so looking
me.
forward to it. I hope, as I've said throughout the show, that you do come and you do join us for just a remarkable morning, celebrating those who have served our country, celebrating really the freedom that we have in America. It is because we are the land of the free, because we are the home of the brave.
Yes.
And I think that is really what sums up the morning's activities. So I hope to see you there. I know I'll see you there.
Yes, you will.
And I'll see
Going
all your
crazy.
family there. Yes, I'll see you there. And I thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much for giving me the honor.
It really is my pleasure. This was a great show, and I know our audience is going to pitch in and help with showing up and helping us to cheer on and salute our veterans. So until next time, this is Mayor Barbara McMorrow saying stay safe and be well.